Hello, everybody. It's Joe from the Strange Voyage Files. It is June 26, 2025, and I'm reviewing two movies, actually, neither one of which I had any intention of reviewing at all. And I'm going to do, as you can see, Sorority Babes and the Slimeball Bowl-O-Rama, parts one and two, on a whim, kind of, because I was looking into the first one. Madison, my daughter, who's my daughter, you've seen her, and I decided to watch the first movie on Tubi, and then the other movie, strangely, was only an hour. So part two was only an hour. So I don't know, we'll make it a double feature. I asked Madison if she wanted to do this review with me. She had absolutely no interest in it whatsoever, and I can see why. Now, the reason I wanted to watch this, I know I've seen the first one. I haven't seen it since the '80s, but I know I've seen it in the past. I wanted to see if whether or not that was something that I'd want to get on physical media because I am building my physical media collection, and it was good. I enjoyed it. It was the first one was, you have Linnea Quigley in there, who's always awesome, great scream queen, and one of my favorites, Michelle Bauer, who I was absolutely in love with in this first one. And this is a typical 80s horror comedy. Sorority girls are pledging into a sorority, and the leader of the sorority, the girl who's leading, pledging them in, is of course mean and whatnot, and really wants to make their lives miserable as pledges to get into the sorority. And you have three guys who are just sitting around watching monster movies. They oh yeah, spoiler alert, but you should know that by now. They end up going and peeking in on these girls while they are being pledged in, and the girls are being paddled. There is a lot of gratuitous nudity in this movie. Um, it was the 80s, it is what it is. It's kind of like watching it with Madison going, oh, I didn't remember this one being like this. Um, but so the boys, of course, get caught, and long story short, they have to go and to prove their worth. The girls that want to they're pledging to prove their worth. They have to steal a bowling trophy, and the boys, as punishment for peeking in on them, have to go with them. They have to break into a bowling alley that's in the mall, but the head sorority leader girl's dad actually owns the mall, so they're not really breaking in and whatnot, but they don't know that. So what ends up happening is they open up this trophy, and it releases an imp, and the imp is grants wishes, and of course the wishes end up going bad. One of the wishes is the God, I'm trying to think of the first one versus the second one. Um, oh my lord, I'm totally drawn a blank here. God, I can't even remember. That's terrible. What I will say, and I'm gonna Google this because this is terrible. Boy, this is what happens when you get old. When you're old, it is not fun. But Linnea Quigley ends up. It's funny because she is actually robbing the place. So as they go in to steal this trophy, they run into Linnea Quigley, and she's Spider. She's supposed to be this tough girl who's robbing the place. Um, and one of the guys kind of falls in love with her. Okay, I had to pull it up. This is horrible. Yes, now I remember. Um, One guy is granted a thing of gold bricks, which end up to be wooden bricks. Um, One girl wants to be prom queen, and then her dress gets all tattered and whatnot. And then one of the guy wants to have sex with one of the girls, and the imp turns her into a sex vixen, but the guy ends up dying anyway, and whatnot. Then the sorority, the bad sorority girl, and two of her friends are watching all of this on security camera, and the imp realizes it and turns two of them into like zombies that go after her. All three of them end up being zombies. It's fun. It is a funny movie. This imp is hilarious. It is horribly voiced. Um, and these goofy, crazy things that happen that you would expect in an 80s horror, very low budget B movie comedy. Um, it doesn't disappoint. It is fun. It's probably one I will end up getting on physical media at some point. I think right now it's let's take a look. What is it? What are they? I thought when I looked it was kind of pricey. And let's see, what does the good old Amazon want? Yeah, for Blu-ray they want $50. That is not happening. There is no way I am paying $50 for this movie on Blu-ray. We'll see. Maybe I'll have to do a little deep dive. I don't know if one of the boutiques have done it on 4K, and again, that would have to be one to wait for that price to go down because it is definitely not a movie I would pay top dollar for. But it is a fun ride. They end up and again, super spoiler alert. They meet the janitor who tells the story that this imp was released 40 years ago or something, and the guy that released him got these, again, bad wishes, and people were getting killed, and he ended up putting him in the trophy. Well, they end the movie by putting him under a tin can and leaving him outside. And then Linnea Quigley and the one guy that she kind of fell in love with, ride off on a motorcycle. So, this thing could be released at any second, but it was the 80s. We didn't think about this. So the first one is enjoyable. Definitely watch it on Tubi if you wanna buy it. Watch it on Tubi first. The second one is so horrible. I don't even know where to start with it. And the second one is through full. I want to make sure I get this right, but I believe full moon. Full moon to this, and it's an hour. Okay. First off, and I'm only saying this because this is, not trying to sound creepy, but all the nudity is like cut out. You can tell they reposition, they re-edited it to cut out nudity, and then there's a scene where guys are trying to watch girls on camera, and it's all blurred out. And when I looked into it, they said that they must have cut the movie. People were saying they must have cut the movie down to cut out the nudity and whatnot. I don't know. Again, not watching the movie for the nudity, but it was really, really strange. Very, very odd. So the movie's only an hour. So I think it can't be half an hour worth of nudity. I'm sure there's other stuff they cut out because the plot makes no sense whatsoever. It is so, it makes sense, but it is so stupid. It is the exact same thing. The same sorority. Guys, this time they have cameras and they're watching girls. They, of course, the guys get caught. And as punishment, they all are sent back to now they know the lore of the first movie, so they're sent to get this trophy that the imp somehow magically got put back into, and it's not. And then of course they release them, and it's not the imp; it's the son of the imp who was actually stuck in the trophy with two of the girls that were in the first movie. And one of them is Michelle Bauer, and the other one I don't know her name, but I believe she directed this movie. But it's horrible because you have an hour-long movie, and the first 30-something minutes, like 32 to 35 minutes, they're not even at the bowling alley. Doesn't even have the imp in it. They're just kind of talking about pledging the sorority and whatnot. Then they get to it, and the whole, at the bowling alley, everything is rushed. Again, they have this girl. So there's only two pledges for the sorority, kind of like the first one. But then this girl literally walks off the street. This tough girl walks off the street to pledge, and they even say that, "You're not in our sorority. Who are you?" And she just kind of says, "Well, I'm pledging," or something like that. It makes absolutely no sense. It literally is like somebody went into a fifth grade class and said, "All right, right here, we're going to show you this first movie. Write the second one." And they picked the best out of the group from the fifth grade class. It's so dumb. It is. I finished it out of morbid curiosity. And again, it's a horrible rehash of the first movie. That's all it is. There is absolutely no plot. One girl wants the man of her dreams that will always be with her, and so this guy appears, and then they're combined together into this grotesque thing. One guy says, "I want a buttload of money," and money literally starts coming out of his butt. Another one says he wants to be the best rapper, and he's turned into a candy wrapper, and the imp thing eats him. So but it's all rushed. The whole thing is rushed, and the two ghost. Sorry, it's my thing. The two ghost things. The two girls, Michelle Bauer and whoever the other one was from the first movie, who appear because they were stuck in this trophy. Again, that's never brought up in the first movie. There's really no reason for them to be in the movie. They're like the two old men in the Muppet Show, kind of watching what's going on and making comments. I think what happened was there was probably a Blu-ray release of the first movie, and they said, "Look, we can probably capitalize, and we'll do a really, really cheap second one, and we'll do a direct-to-video, and we'll push some sales, and we'll probably make it." I don't think that Full Moon had any intention of making a monster profit off this second one. I think they probably got because I've seen this one reviewed by quite a few people. And the first one is good. I don't think there was any intention to make any money off the second one. So I'm sure it was just a push off the name. And I hope, Full Moon, I hope you made whatever money you could off it, because that is by far, the Sorority Babes and the Slimeball Bowl-O-Rama 2 is without a doubt one of the worst things I've ever seen. So, my recommendation, definitely watch the first one. It's funny. I do remember it. My big recollection was Michelle Bauer, because I was absolutely in love with her in all her movies. Linnea Quigley, of course, in the first one is phenomenal as always. And you'll have fun. You'll enjoy it. If you like those campy 80s horror movies, you are absolutely going to enjoy the first one. If you have absolutely nothing to do, and it's between that and pulling your eyelashes out, pull your eyelashes out. But if not, watch the second one. So, all right, well, let me know what you think. Like, comment, all that fun stuff, and I will see you soon. And again, one day I'll have my my other Instagram and all that stuff. But again, I do this for fun. I'm not real big on pushing this. But all right, see you later.